Before the morning of Monday the 18th, the Makerere Institute of Social Research went about business in undeterred quiet. The institute, reeling on the pride of a 5-year-old independent doctorate program, would however become the bone of public scrutiny after this happened. A research fellow, 4-time graduate and doctorate holder Stella Nyanzi protested at the entrance to the institute, accusing it of, among many things, denying her access to her office. A memo supplied days before the Monday incident had indicated that Stella, hired by the university as a research fellow, hands over her keys to the office. The underlying reason was that she would only hold the office if she agreed to teach, an addition that Stella says was far out of her contractual terms.
I do not teach, edit, okay? Rub, cross out.
This person who did this has to go. Those are my terms, not anybody else's terms. They have to.
But much longer after the cameras were packed, NTV moves to understand the problems that plague an institute seen by many as a beacon for hope for African education. It all began in mid-2011 when an invitation was made by Makerere to have Professor Mahmoud Mamdani, a respected African scholar with a string of scholarly attributes beneath his belt, start a doctorate program at the university. Mamdani fitted the bill. He not only drew attraction to himself as a leading scholar, but also drew the attention of many students and scholars across the African continent that worked hard and admired him.
The reason why all of us came here, we are dread co-citizens and subjects, scholars of the marketplace, saviors and survivors, good Muslim, bad Muslim. We dread those books. Some of us, all of them, some of us, a few of them, but enough to be greatly inspired by this visionary, legendary man, this great scholar, this politically active scholar.
Even that of the very people who would lie in torment years on.
I used to love Mamdani as an outsider because everybody said, Professor Mamdani, Professor Mamdani, Professor Mamdani, Professor Mamdani. I used to love, and I was like, who is this guy? Because I didn't know him.
After his short tenure with the school, the funding had grown in leaps and bounds, from 5.5 billion shillings to 23.7 billion shillings. His interdisciplinary program would also recruit up to 47 students, studying in various fields of research. But together with the bed of roses that Mamdani had laid, thorns of the program would soon prick through the institute's administration and bleed it even more dry through strings of allegations.
Like, no, but it's Mamdani. I mean, you can't reconcile his actions with what he has written because it's so painful to do so. How can, many times and in many of the emails that have been circulating at MISR, we keep re-quoting things back to him. You wrote this. You said this. How can you then victimize students this way? How can you victimize staff this way?
Because most of us are simply not sure what happens tomorrow. Because as I talk to you, I don't know what will happen to me tomorrow. I don't know whether I'll be asked to leave. I don't know. I can tell. But one thing I'm sure of is that I'll be intimidated. That one I'm sure of.
The problem at MISR is not a small Nyanzi thing that you have seen. It's much more bigger than that.
We had comprehensive exams. We have comprehensive exams in our third year. We had prepared for 2 questions. We were told now we have to do 6 questions in a matter of a week. How can you prepare for an exam just like that? We wrote a petition in 2013. Nothing was done about it.
The petition that she refers to is this one, a copy of which NTV has obtained, spelling out the concerns a section of students had with the administration of the program. A disagreement had long been brewing inside the students' faculty on the manner in which 3 students had had their scholarships to the program revoked. An official letter sent to one of the students, a copy of which NTV has, indicates that the student had lost good academic standing with the institute. That would never have been a matter of contention until the definition of the policy on good academic standing, one championed by Mamdani, came into question. NTV saw 2 memos from 2013 that indicate the institute's good academic standing policy required each student to score at least a B, which is 70%, to sustain and maintain themselves on the fellowship program. The story of this policy can be told no better by anyone other than Mahir Balunywa.
I received a letter from a one PhD administrator called Simon Musoke, and he's telling me that my scholarship is about to be revoked because I'm not in good academic standing. I asked Simon, what do you mean by good academic standing? He referred me to Mamdani, the executive director.
NTV was also shown the new policy passed in 2015, placing the good academic standing threshold at B+, a decision that would allegedly cost some students of their fellowships. When asked, the Institute Director Mamdani told NTV that he, quote-unquote, withdrew that policy.
We have a good academic standing policy. Okay, so the good academic standing policy was approved by the academic board in 2013. Then I think somewhere in 2015, the PhD administrator sent out a memo giving the good academic standing, but it was erroneous. We withdrew it, and we brought back the 2013 memo. That's the only incident I can remember.
This policy would touch the heart of the storm that had long been brewing, placing students on a collision course with each other.
Say it is unacceptable, it is wrong, they can't be, completely, they can't just be, their scholarships can't just be revoked. These are people's livelihoods and people's lives, people's intellectual careers, right? You can't just undermine them, and just decide randomly.
The director, as the coordinator of the group, crafted the research, and there are some interests we have. We have had to negotiate those interests, and it has been not an easy way.
The exchange would get so heated that in one email, a student referred to the others as wolves. NTV has seen this email and reproduces part of it here. Seeking to resolve the matter, a group of students would petition Mamdani asking him to intervene in what had now grown into a crisis. NTV has also seen a copy of the petition allegedly handed to Mamdani on the 8th of February, 3 months before the spark would erupt into a display of nudity at the faculty. The response to that petition would only come in this interview that we held with him at his office on Tuesday.
You can have disagreements between students. Students can call students names. I am not stepping in the midst of that. I am not adjudicating, so long as it is name-calling.
Events of Monday the 8th, where Stella Nyanzi undressed in front of the Makerere Institute of Social Research, may have been new to the public, but evidence that NTV has seen and email threads that NTV has seen show that there was under-boiling currents before this even happened, straight from the students to the teachers and divisions amongst members within the institute itself.
What are the other sources, right, that we can seek redress from beyond MISR, beyond Mamdani? He can't be the be-all and end-all of everything. We have to have recourse to other forms, other structures where we can appeal for our cases to be heard.
The PhD program is expected to release its first batch of graduates later this year, after starting out in June 2012.
If you want an investigation, fine, but the Vice-Chancellor has to be investigated. Also, the Vice-Chancellor cannot appoint an investigating team which is answerable to him, which reports to him. No. He takes primary responsibility. He is the architect of those who would like to dismantle this program.
It remains solely in the hands of the administration at Makerere, which sits in the intersection of the two principles, to resolve the crisis. Raymond Mujuni for NTV.